Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here with another Extravagant Few Minutes live here on the Captain Lou Sports Network on YouTube and, of course, on our Facebook page, which is the Captain Lou Extravaganza. And you can follow us on X at The Real Captain Lou. We invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, by the way, which is the Captain Lou Sports Network. As I said, you can get all of our live and recorded archive programming, all of our Extravagant Few Minutes episodes, the Extravaganza with yours truly, and of course with my tag team partner, Mitch Bernstein. We've got all of our NFL division previews starting up. We had one last night. Great conversation with Ev Vinyls of Crew Talk Sports talking the Denver Broncos. That's up on our network as well. And coming up tonight, Friday at 7 o'clock, Mike DeBate, who works for Sports Illustrated covering the New England Patriots, where we talked about the AFC East and the Patriots. Again, that's coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. Also, a reminder that all of our Extravagant Few Minutes episodes are brought to you by the official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network. And that, of course, is SeatGeek. If there's a game you want to go to, the Lions, any college football game, NFL, you name it. Baseball with the pennant race is heating up. The Dodgers out of first place. Are you kidding me? That, of course, is SeatGeek. Get your tickets for that big weekend set with the Dodgers and the Padres. Go to SeatGeek, use the promo code Captain Lou, and you'll get $20 off your purchase. It's free money. It's very simple to do. Make sure you use the promo code Captain Lou when you go to SeatGeek to get the tickets for any event that you want to go to. They are the official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network. All right. Well, on everybody's mind here at the top of the show, earlier today, the so-called hammer came down on the University of Michigan. The sanctions are out, the cheating scandal, everything is out in the open now. The NCAA's findings and their punishment was made public today. Michigan gets a $20 million fine to start. They're going to get a postseason ban on, not on the games. They're not going to the postseason. Revenue, they're not going to get any revenue for the next couple of years from the postseason. Should they make the playoff, which you never know with Michigan, they might. They're not going to get any revenue from that. Sharon Moore is going to get a 2-game suspension. He's already getting the self-imposed suspension this year, games 3 and 4, I believe. Also an added game next year, which will probably be they go take on Western Michigan over in Germany. Jim Harbaugh gets 10-year show cause, which means he can't coach in college football or do anything after his ban is done right now or in 2028. So he won't be able to coach essentially till 2038. Big deal. He probably isn't going to come back to college anyways. He'll be 75 then. Connor Stallions gets an 8-year show cause suspension. Big deal. Sharon Moore gets a 3-year show cause suspension, which I don't know about. He can still coach, but he gets a show cause. It's a slap in the face, or slap on the wrist, I should say, not a slap in the face, a slap on the wrist. Now, I'm a Michigan fan. And, I knew they weren't going to get their title vacated. Anybody who really, truly thought that, you're not as smart as I thought you were. I thought maybe a postseason ban this year and next year, which, I could have lived with. I tend to agree with the NCAA when they said, why do we punish the players that are there now? It's something that the NCAA has done for decades when you find a program is guilty of infractions, paying players which used to be illegal back in the day. So I understand why maybe they didn't want to do that. But I look at it and I read the social media accounts, and I know there are trolls on both sides, Michigan State, Ohio State. They're going to call Michigan cheaters for the rest of their life, and I get it. And I see the Michigan side where they're jumping up and down, sticking their chest out, pumping their chest, whatever, saying, yep, we are the champions. We knew we weren't going to get it. But here's my thing. How can you feel good, even as a Michigan fan, when all this comes down? Some of the NCAA findings about this, the one that sticks out to me with Harbaugh is how narcissistic he was through all of this. And when the compliance committee or the compliance officers or whatever went to the Michigan football program and they were so uncooperative, they wouldn't give them anything. Harbaugh wouldn't testify, nothing. And they went away. They weren't cooperative at all. The NCAA with some damning statements about Michigan football and Jim Harbaugh. And it's embarrassing. It really is. Now, if you're a fan, you're thinking, now that's all you're going to hear the rest of your life. Now, if you're like me and you've got family that are diehard Michigan State fans, I expect it. But if you got friends that of other universities, you're going to turn on TV. If you're a sports fan, that's all you're going to hear now from here on out. It's a tainted national championship. And I don't know if it's tainted, but I'll tell you what, where there's smoke, there's fire. And again, you know me, I'm a Michigan fan. And, I bleed maize and blue. I'm upfront about it. This one hurts. It really does, because Michigan does not look good in this. They don't look, and I just don't understand how people can cheer this as a victory for Michigan. And is it the most nefarious scandal of all time? I don't know if I'd go down that road. There was point shaving in basketball, and I get all that, but it was cheating. Cheating is cheating. And again, the thing that really bothers me the most about all of this is what came out about how non-compliant Michigan was in all this. Thinking that, the arrogance that Michigan felt that, well, they got the self-imposed ban and all that. Harbaugh was suspended for 60% of the games in 2023. We thought we were doing the right thing. They weren't compliant. And here's the thing that really sticks out to me that bothers the hell out of me. How does Warde Manuel still have a job? How is he still the athletic director at Michigan? And I got to agree with Michigan State fans and media. If this happened in MSU, their AD would be gone. Warde Manuel handled the Juwan Howard situation like crap, and he's handled this horribly as well. Santa Ono isn't there anymore. I mean, he was compliant. He was in on it. How does Warde Manuel still have a job at Michigan? And I'm here to tell you right now, I know you may not believe this, but I'm going to put it out there right now. I will not watch another Michigan game until Warde Manuel is out as athletic director at Michigan. I will not watch another Michigan football game. I will not watch another Michigan basketball game until Warde Manuel is out as athletic director at Michigan. He's an embarrassment. He's turned Michigan into an embarrassment. He didn't hold anybody accountable in that football program, and he's getting off scot-free right now. And to me, that's the real crime right now at Michigan. They're going to get a slap on the wrist. Someone's going to pay that $20 million fine out of their pocket. They've got wealthy, deep pockets, wealthy donors. And it really bothers the shit right out of me. I'm getting fired up about it. I love Michigan, but this is a dark day for me as a Michigan fan, because I look back on it now. How can you not think it wasn't tainted? There might be some truth to the rumor of what Greg Schiano said or James Franklin. The hell with Ryan Day. He's a whiner. And there's no way Michigan State was going to beat Michigan that year, even with Michigan knowing those. Even if they didn't know the signals, Michigan State wasn't going to beat Michigan that year. But I'm going to say it again. I will not watch another Michigan game until Warde Manuel's out. He's got to go. And so far, we've heard nothing about him through all of this. He's skating on this. And that's the crime. That's the injustice, too, right now with Michigan sports. He's an embarrassment. He's turned Michigan into an embarrassment, starting out with Juwan Howard and now this. It hurts. This is not a great day for Michigan athletics. And I'm not hoping they lose all their games. I'm just not going to watch them. Sharon Moore, to me, the jury's still out on him. Yeah, I know they beat Alabama last year in the bowl game. But right now, it's just, I can't. I can't watch another game. I can't do it. All right, let's talk about some good stuff, shall we? But first, again, let's remind everybody that the Captain Lou Extravaganza and an Extravagant Few Minutes, everything on our network, on the Captain Lou Sports Network, is brought to you by the official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network, and that is SeatGeek. If there's a game you want to go to, the Lions coming up with the regular season. The Tigers are in the pennant race, first place by 6.5 games over Cleveland. Go to SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou, and you'll get $20 off your next purchase. It's that simple, super easy to do, and again, it's free money. So the official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network and all of our programs, SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou and you will get $20 off your next purchase. All right, let's go to Major League Baseball, shall we? The Tigers. Tariq Skubal didn't start off so hot yesterday, giving up 3 runs to the Twins, but the bullpen came through for the Tigers last night as they won in 11 innings yesterday by the score of 4-3. Who on your bingo card had Montero getting the last 4 outs in the 10th and 11th inning for the Tigers to hang on to that 4-3 win? Huge win for the Tigers. These are the games that they have to keep pace, to stay ahead of the Cleveland Guardians. The Guardians are playing out of their minds as well right now with a depleted team after the trade deadline a couple of weeks ago. Detroit's lead is 6.5 games over the Cleveland Indians right now. Tonight, 8:10 Eastern time, Charlie Morton's going to go on. He's taking the hill for the Tigers against all for the Twins. And then tomorrow it's going to be Mize against Matthews. And then on Sunday, Paddock's going to get the call against his former team. The Twins have not yet announced a starter. But, hey, it's a great time still to be a Tigers fan. 6.5 game lead. Finnegan, again, looking strong in the bullpen. The bullpen looked great for Detroit last night as they hung on for a 4-3 win over the Twins. They've got a 6.5 game lead over Cleveland as they come into tonight's action. Again, Cleveland won yesterday over the Miami Marlins. And tonight, let's see who Marlins are at home against Atlanta. So they've got another easy weekend set against a team that's scuffling. The Tigers need to still make hay. They've got 3 more games with the Twins before the Houston Astros come calling next Monday. But after that, just looking ahead, Kansas City comes in for 3. Then they go to wherever Oakland's playing, Sacramento, and then they go to Kansas City. So a chance for the Tigers to make hay while the sun shines here in the month of August. All right, let's take a look, shall we, at the updated Major League Baseball standings. And again, some surprises still in Major League Baseball. The Blue Jays have a 5-game lead over the Boston Red Sox and 6.5 over the Yankees. In the Central Division, we mentioned it, the Tigers, they've got a 6.5 game lead over the Guardians, who are 63 and 57 right now, and they've got a 10-game lead over the Royals. In the West, Seattle at one time earlier this week, they were even. I think they might even have been up a half a game on the Astros, but right now they find themselves a game and a half back of the Astros. Houston at 68 and 53, the Mariners at 67 and 55. The Blue Jays, by the way, with a half-game lead over Detroit for the best record in the American League. In the National League, how about the Milwaukee Brewers? They've won 12 straight games, 76 and 44, by far the best team in all of Major League Baseball. They've got an 8-game lead rather over the Chicago Cubs. Wow. And then they've got a 13-game lead over the Cincinnati Reds. In the East, the Phillies with a 3-game losing streak still have a 5-game lead over the Mets, who've lost 9 out of their last 10. Philly now 69 and 52. And in the West, we talked about it just a minute ago. The Padres, that's right, the Padres are in first place in the National League West with a 1-game lead over the Dodgers. The Padres have won 5 straight. The Dodgers have lost 4 straight. Those 2 teams are meeting for a 3-game series coming up starting this weekend. So some big news. Real quick, let's take a look at the wild card, too, while we're at it. The Mariners hold the top wild card spot in the American League. The Boston Red Sox, the next one, then the Yankees. But the Guardians are only a half game out of that third and final wild card spot. I know we've got, 5 weeks left of the regular season, about 38 games, I think, for the Tigers, 39 games. Cleveland, I think, has 42 left, so still a long ways to go. But the Guardians are right there nipping at the Yankees' heels. And how about in the National League? Same scenario. The Chicago Cubs have, they're up big 5-game lead. They're the top wild card spot right now. The Dodgers are the second wild card team, a half game behind the Cubs. And the Mets hold the final one, but only a half-game lead over the Cincinnati Reds and 3.5 over the St. Louis Cardinals. It seems like we always talk about the St. Louis Cardinals with a 3.5-game lead, or right there in wild card and playoff position, even though they haven't been playing very good all year. They're back to 500. They're always there. It's crazy. All right, finally here, just a little bit on football. Not a whole lot going on, really. You know, we've got preseason week number 2, week number 3 for the Lions. The Lions are going to take on Miami tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. you're a Lions fan, all the reports out of the joint practices this week were great. It sounds like the Lions manhandled the Miami Dolphins, and it's amazing. I've been watching a lot of prognosticators. All of a sudden, the Lions aren't getting some of the love that they've had in the recent years. Let's start sleeping on the Lions, shall we? They're looking pretty good in practice. I know it's preseason. First game, a couple of weeks away against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau, and that's September 7th. And Jordan Love, of course, went in for surgery on his non-throwing shoulder, or I'm sorry, thumb. Pardon me, his non-throwing hand, his thumb, and so he'll probably be good to go for week 1. But that's also just going to linger a little bit. So it's coming. Can't wait for that. And also high school football here in the state of Michigan, 2 weeks from yesterday. We get the start of another year, and I can't wait to be bringing Freeland Falcon football on MichiganSportsRadio.com as well. All right, that's going to do it here. Kind of an eventful day in the world of sports here in the state of Michigan. Michigan getting their penalty, as we mentioned, $20 million fine, no postseason revenue for a couple of years, bowl game revenue, whatever. Jim Harbaugh gets a 10-year show cause, which means he can't coach for 10 years after his current show cause is up. And so he won't be able to coach until 2038, I believe. Connor Stallions gets 8 years, big deal. The one that kind of surprises me is Sharon Moore getting some, and he's still being able to coach. He's going to get a 2-game suspension, which he already was doing a self-imposed one. That's kind of like going to be time served, if you will, and he gets an extra game next year, which will probably be the Western Michigan game over in Germany. So who knows, man? It's just the $20 million fine. The money's a slap in the wrist. It's a slap on the wrist. But the more I read, the more I think that's what's going to be what the NCAA does. They've got no teeth. They've got no you-know-whats. I mean, again, as a Michigan fan, I'm embarrassed. I really am. And like I said earlier, where's Warde Manuel in all this? How is he not getting slapped or getting fired or whatever? He's got to go. All right, everybody, that's going to do it. Have a great Friday and a great weekend, too. Be safe out there, all right? If you're going to be in Lansing tomorrow night at the Lugnuts game, stop by and see the bald-headed guy. I'll be on the third base side of home plate, about 15 rows up or so. Stop by and say hi, will you? All right, everybody, thanks for welcoming us into your homes, on your computers, your laptops, however you watched us around the world here on the Captain Lou Sports Network and an Extravagant Few Minutes. This reminder as well, keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving, and as always, keep your minds open.